Welcome back, friends. iRelat here with another relationship Reddit story about a mom who got busted by her 18-year-old daughter doing some pretty bad things. There's a lot to cover here and updates were posted as well, so make sure you stick around to the end to hear all the dirty deeds. So she says, I have two parents in their early 40s and I always thought that I had the perfect family. That is until a couple of days ago when I discovered what I'm about to tell you. That's always unfortunate when you think your family is like the Cleavers and then come to find out your parents are actually a couple of freaks and those friends they've been having over are really swingers. But anyway, she says, my dad's an engineer who's been traveling a lot for the past year and my mom's in healthcare taking on different shifts throughout the day. So my laptop breaks down the other day and I ask her if I can use hers to finish a school project. While I'm working, I see a couple of WhatsApp notifications pop up with sensual messages. I tried to ignore it until I saw that they were from a guy named Pete and not my dad. Uh-oh, Mama's been touching some Peter. I couldn't believe my eyes. I felt like throwing the laptop in the trash and pretend I never saw it. Afterwards, I collected my thoughts and went back to the chat, and from what I can see, they met at least 4 or 5 times starting just a couple of months after my dad started traveling. I took photos of the chat history and went to my room trying to process what I'd seen. I couldn't even finish my homework. From what I could see in the messages, they were supposed to meet that night. And lo and behold, just a half hour before meeting time, she passed by my room to let me know she was going to work. Oh, she was going to work it all right. The next day, I gather my courage to confront her, and I think she already knew what I discovered because the chat messages had already been read. I told her I knew what she was doing and that it was wrong. She sat me down and tried to calm me, but I told her there's no way I would be calm, and she said I would understand once I hear the explanation. She told me that she and Dad agreed to an open marriage shortly after he began traveling. No way, I was actually right about that? She's probably lying. To be honest, I couldn't fully comprehend this, so she explained what it entailed. She told me it was completely physical and she would never have feelings for anyone other than my dad. The messages I read support this as they were only about bedroom fun. She also said they only agree to do it if one of them is away. She closed by saying this is adult stuff agreed between 2 loving adult spouses and I should stay out of it. I was dumbfounded and didn't know how to react the whole time. I started reading online about open marriages and this is how I found this subreddit. It was consistent with what she said, but it just didn't make sense to me. I didn't believe my dad would agree to this and his views are generally more conservative. Also, when he's away, he's more present with us than her, as he video chats with us or plays online games with my brothers almost daily. In yesterday's call, I asked him why he has to travel a lot and he said this is hard but it's necessary to secure college money for me and my brothers. He assured me that it'll change soon. Oh no, this guy's out there working his butt off to put his kids through college while wifey's at home playing with Peter? I asked how he can bear to be away from his wife almost half the year, and he said since their relationship foundation is strong, temporary separation only causes them to miss each other more and value the limited time they have with each other. Yeah, right. Sure sounds like she's missing him. I honestly don't know if I should believe her. Should I ask her for proof of this marriage claim? I'm mortified to tell my dad, but if this is my only option to confirm, I might have to. I don't want our perfect family to be torn apart, but would it be fair to my dad to keep this secret? I've been crying nonstop since this revelation and I don't know what to do. Well, in my opinion, considering your dad seems like a good guy who's still trying to be there for the family while he's gone, and the reason that he's even gone in the first place is to put his kids through college, I think you kind of owe it to him. And if they really are in an open marriage, then there's no reason why saying something to him will be a problem. Plus, if this isn't just something the mom's doing, wouldn't she have told the dad that the daughter found out about their situation anyway? Well, there's an update, so I guess we don't need to wonder. So a week later, this girl posts, it took me some time to decide that I wanted to bring this up to my dad, but I wanted to wait and do it in person. His next home visit was 5 days after this original incident. While waiting for that, I was really uncomfortable with my mom and was thinking twice about every move she made. She tried to play it cool, open conversations, or suggest going out, but I just tried to avoid her. Even if my dad did know, I was subconsciously treating her in a cold manner. This might have contributed to what happened next. Uh-oh, what happened next? On the night before my dad arrived, it seemed my mom broke down. She came into my room when I was about to go to bed and asked if we can talk. She started to talk about generic things and how hard it was for her to be almost a single mom for the past year with 2 teenage boys and thanked me for helping out with that. Yeah, it's so hard not to cheat on your husband while he's away for a good portion of 1 year after a 20-year relationship. Give me a break. Now I started to see her tear up while bringing up that she might not have been completely honest about the open relationship thing. Oh, how did I know that was coming? Of course she's gonna start shedding crocodile tears. Long story short, according to her, she suggested an open marriage to my dad a while ago, but he never gave her a definite answer. So she just took that as a go ahead and do whatever you want anyway? She said he told her he'd think about it and get back to her, but every time she tries to revisit the topic, he changes the subject. So there was no agreement from my dad that was clearly established, and now I at least know what to expect when I approach him about it. By this time, she's completely sobbing and trying to guilt trip me about the consequences of disclosing the whole thing to him. I felt sorry for her and told her the right thing to do was come clean to him, but she said she doesn't have the courage to do it. Why would you feel sorry for her? This is exactly why she's crying and acting like a baby to get sympathy, when in reality she's ruining your whole family. I told her I'm gonna do it if she doesn't. Then she said she'll think about it and we both went to bed. Not that I could possibly sleep after this. This would be a pretty devastating position to be in as a kid. And it's kind of messed up for the mom to be putting the daughter in this position. Like, what the hell? No kid wants to have to tell their dad this. So she says, my dad arrived the next afternoon, and early that morning my mom said in the family chat that she had to take an emergency shift at work. She wouldn't be back until the evening and apologized profoundly. Uh-oh, mom's going to get some more Peter. In a private chat, I asked her what the hell she's doing. She said she's not ready to tell him and needs more time to find the courage. I told her that I don't think I can hold this in and act normal around him, so he most likely is going to find out for me anyway if she doesn't do it tonight. What a piece of shit this mom is. Like, why would you put your teenage daughter in this situation? She probably never even really had the conversation about an open marriage with the dad and told the daughter that so she would look less guilty. Like, try to act like the dad at least had some kind of clue that this is the type of thing she was doing. So she continues, she sent several crying emojis, then gave me the go-ahead to talk to him and told me to update her if it's safe for her to come back home after I talk to dad? What the hell? Now this mom's putting it on the daughter completely? What the fuck is wrong with this woman? I don't know what she meant, as my dad has never been the violent type. Well, she's probably prepping for the divorce. Over dinner, my dad was visibly displeased as mom never takes shifts during his arrival. Yeah, pretty lame, and his day's about to be a lot worse. Once we were alone, after having lots of small talks, he was telling me that one of his coworkers is getting married next week, so he'll try to stay around to attend that. I used this as a transition and told him that I came across the term open marriage. I told him that after hearing it and reading about it, I asked mom what she thinks of it, and mom told me it would be her ideal situation. Then asked him what he thought about it. He was taken by surprise. He said he doesn't believe in polygamy, another term I just learned, and that if a couple feel the need for it, they should address the issue that makes them feel that way, and if this issue can't be resolved, then polygamy would not be the answer. I asked if mom asked him for an open marriage, and he said yes, but he refused it on the spot. After that, So the mom's just a complete liar. Why does that not surprise me? After that, he promised her that he'd take a local position, kind of a demotion for him, as he didn't know this is how she felt, especially since he didn't take this job in the first place until he knew she was okay with him traveling. She probably wanted him to take a traveling position so she could do this behind his back, because this is something she probably wanted to do regardless. He was actually just approved for the new local job and was going to take it after the new year. He was planning to surprise my mom with the news. I asked him when was the first time they talked about the open marriage proposal, and he assured me that it was only one talk and that it happened around 5 months ago. This is definitely after my mom had met Pete. See, what did I tell you? She was already doing this, or she at least knew that she wanted to do it, so she was trying to get rid of the husband so she could get away with it. But unfortunately, she's an idiot. He started to pressure me about what's going on, but I was able to get out of the conversation and do some research to figure out both sides of the story. By looking at the messages, apparently my mom started seeing this guy, then asked for the open marriage so that she could get permission to F him. When my dad refused, she just did it anyway. Bro. This is why if your wife ever asks you for an open marriage, you better believe she's already got someone lined up if she's not already doing the dirty. This kind of thing happens all the time. So this girl says, I was boiling and couldn't think straight. I messaged her to please come home and everything was fine. Then I messaged my dad screenshots of her conversation with Pete, and I came here to write this update. I really don't care what happens next and won't write another update. Whether they separate or not isn't important to me anymore, as I know life won't go back to the way it was anyway. The important thing is that I'm at peace from carrying this burden. Oh man, that sounds terrible. I don't even really have an opinion on this, other than that mom is fucked up. But I actually have another story here that solidifies my theory that women always want an open relationship after they've found someone else. So this guy and his girlfriend are both 21, and he says, open relationships are something I've never experienced. I've always been curious to see if it could work, and she immediately shot me down. She told me she only found me attractive and couldn't imagine being with another guy and vice versa. Now nearly 2.5 months later, she's living in Spain for the next 6 months, and brought up to me that she'd like to try to open up our relationship now, and close it again once she returns. Okay. Funny how all that can't imagine being with someone else stuff goes out the window as soon as your boyfriend's nowhere to be found and you're surrounded by strange Spanish dick. She told me she has a coworker in mind and that he hits on her even knowing the fact that she has a boyfriend. I'm hesitant now because to me this seems just like a convenient way for her to sleep with other men for 6 months, then return to me like nothing happened. Am I overthinking it? Of course you're not overthinking it. The only thing you're overthinking is the fact that you might be overthinking it. That's exactly what she's doing. Then of course the very first comment says, "Similar situation happened to me. She asked for an open relationship and when I questioned her about it, she admitted to cheating. It devastated me 8 years in, but I ended it and never spoke to her again." Yep, that's how you handle that situation. And just like this commenter's story, the original poster's girlfriend probably already did the same and now she's just trying to justify what she's done. But even if she hasn't done it already, she's definitely into this Spanish guy and wants to have a relationship with him for the next 6 months. Or just wants him to be the first of many guys she hooks up with during her Spanish hot girl summer. Which in my opinion means the guy who posted this story needs to move on. I mean, obviously she's not as into him as she thought or he thought. Emphasis on the word thought. Plus, regardless if this guy agrees to it or not, she's gonna hook up with him anyway and act like she didn't, so we might as well just move on. The funny thing is though that she actually brought this up to the boyfriend as if he wouldn't know exactly what she was doing. But anyway, that's about all I have to say about this story, so what do you all think? Tell us your opinions in the comments, and thanks to anyone who subscribed, click like or share this video. If you want to contact me, my info's below. Definitely join my Discord server if you want to chat, because I'm in there regularly. And thanks to all of you who respond positively to any of those video surveys that pop up in your feed. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.